Hey everyone, how are you? Thanks for tuning in and joining me. I am Shannon in Central Florida, Zone 9B, and I'm doing a little garden cleanup, so let's check it out. So, to say it's hot out is an understatement. It is so hot and humid right now. You can see I have all my sail shades up over my ponds because my poor little fish are just getting so heated in their ponds. So, but these work pretty nicely. Then I can just take them down, later in the year. I have been amending beds and just pulling things out and just getting rid of all the tired things that are happening in the garden right now. And I've gotten a couple beds done already and one of my Greenstalks. So I have 2 more Greenstalks to do, and so I'll kind of go over and show you all of that. But I went ahead and just direct seeded everything. I really have not been out in the garden at this garden. I have another plot up in Zone 8 that has been thriving. This garden has really, the heat has gotten to it, the humidity, the rain. I mean, this is Central Florida right now in August. So to say the garden is tired is an understatement. I am tired. All my tropicals are doing well, but as for my vegetables and stuff, there's really not too much going on. So I will show you those. I'll go over those. We're getting like a ton of thunder, so I may have to do this a little later, just depending on how close this storm gets. But I'll show you around of what's going on. Like I said, I'm just direct sowing seeds right into the garden. We just have so much stuff going on right now. I do not have time to start seedlings and then babysit them and transplant them and everything else. So I am heavily seeding directly into the raised garden beds in the Greenstalk and keeping my fingers crossed, and basically survival of the fittest here right now. But it is really hot today and I have not been wanting to get out here, but I was like, suck it up, Buttercup, get out here or you're not gonna have a fall garden. So let me show you what I've been doing. Okay, so we'll start over here. My Barbados cherry, I just picked off probably like 20 cherries off of it last week. It's really good. So this is a good one, thrives in the heat. I've just trimmed it back because it was like getting out of control and I really want to keep it contained. So trimmed that back. I'm resetting up this bed. Like I said, I direct sowed a lot of things, put in some onions. Over here, I did 2 different types. I did like a scallion and then a Blanca onion, Blanco. This is a banana pepper. I trimmed it back because I'm gonna put my squirrel-proof cloth on this bed. I did a video on it some time back and it worked out really well. So I'm just planting in a bunch of seedlings and I'm gonna put the cloth back over it until I can kind of get a little bit of movement with those seedlings. I went ahead and got risky and I planted some pumpkin seeds here on the ends, and I'm just gonna let them flow and go to town if they want. I put some beet seeds back here, and then I'm gonna do some okra right here. I have the seeds soaking, so I have not put them in the ground yet, but that's where they're gonna go. Banana pepper here. I sprinkled several different types of tomatoes back there because I love homegrown fresh tomatoes, so I don't really care what kind I get. Did some onions here. My longevity spinach is going out of control. As you can see, I just cut a ton of this down and it's still thriving. So if you guys don't have this in your garden, it loves this time of the year. Rosemary's doing okay. I just cut some of that off and planted it in the Greenstalk. So I'm taking advantage of the shade right now, and I've got this one pulled apart. You can see the soil levels have really come down. And I just kind of want to evaluate what I have going in here and what's doing well, what's not. That eggplant is looking horrible. So I've got to do something about that, but I'm going to fill the soil, fertilize. The strawberries are doing, they're doing okay for as hot as it is. So I'm going to fertilize those and then get some plants moved around and some dirt added in and compost. I'm using the dirt that I absolutely love from Home Depot. I'll put a picture of it up on the screen. I can't remember the name of it, and then I also got this cow organic compost to add in as well. And of course, I'm using my garden tone. In my strawberries, I'm going to be using berry tone though, so just a little disclosure there. This Greenstalk, I went ahead and re-amended. I filled all the soil. They're nice and high now, and planted some new things. The beans are doing okay, so I've left them. I am starting to get a little bit of production of the purple beans here. And then I went ahead and planted some new peppers in here, some seedlings. And then I have this squash here. It's not doing very well, but I went ahead and kept it, let it go, do its thing. I planted a yellow crookneck squash here. It's a little late in the season, but I'm gonna risk it. And then here is a regular zucchini, green zucchini. And then I have another bean there. And then on this side, I got a start, and there was 3 of them together. I took them apart, so they're looking a little rough, but it will pop back up. In here, I planted some more pepper seedlings. The tags are hidden in here. So I did I didn't do an Anaheim. I did a habanada, and I did, what was this one? Advarsky. Those are both from Baker Creek. And then up here, I did patio sunshine tomatoes, which is a yellow tabletop cherry tomato. Yellow ones are my favorite, so I'm excited to see this one, and supposedly they can get up to 100 on one plant. I haven't had success with it yet, so trying again. This one is going to be the orange hat tomato right in here from Baker Creek, and I put in a couple seedlings in there. So again, I'm going to pull the one that doesn't look as good. I went ahead and propagated some rosemary. I just cut it off my plant. When they start getting woody, you really want to kind of keep them trimmed and keep them cut down, because then they just will keep kind of continuing to get woody. So cut these, put them in to propagate them, and then planted some parsley seedlings. My thyme is doing amazing. It smells so good. I use it in so many dishes, and I give a ton to the girls as well. And then again, rosemary cuttings, parsley. So then I moved my lime tree in here to give it a little, it gets a lot of morning shade and some dappled sun. I just took off 2 limes yesterday, and there is still, there's one more on here. Oh, there it is. There he is. So I took 2 off yesterday. I'm gonna let the other one stay. Nothing in this bed. I think I may plant some tomato seedlings and see if they don't do well here. And then again, this Greenstalk, I've just taken it apart. I'm going to reevaluate. I'm probably going to do potatoes in the bottom. I did that last year. I was pretty happy with it. I'm thinking that's an eggplant. I don't have them marked. Oh, what is this? Sunshine patio. So this is definitely a leftover potato from last year. Thinking these might be eggplants, so I can try to transplant them since that one is just terrible. Then in these containers, I went ahead and propagated some leaf lettuce basil. It's looking terrible right now because it is so hot, but it will perk back up. And then in here, I just planted a bunch of marigold seeds. I need some more flowers in here to bring in some pollinators, so we'll get those going. And then over here, I have my okra is doing really well. Got some starts. I love okra, and I want a bunch more. So I've got more seeds soaking here. I'm going to plant some okra in here, and then I'm also going to plant some over there. I'm way over planting because I need a fall garden. So this Greenstalk needs help as well, so that'll be my next project. The bean trellis is doing really, really well. We've been harvesting quite a bit of beans off of there, and a couple of them have dried up like a lot sooner than I had thought. Here's another one that has dried up right there. So I just went ahead and dropped the seeds. and planted them in here, and just doing, you know, just like a succession seedling, so I can just have more and more beans. And I did the same over here. I've got a couple little seedlings popping up. Peppers are doing good. I went ahead and re-amended this bed as well, and these were the other 2 yellow squash starts that I got, the crookneck squash, and they're so good. I love them. There was 3 in the container, so I pulled them apart. They're looking a little rough, but they'll do fine. I went ahead and direct seeded quite a bit of Swiss chard there, quite a bit of Swiss chard here and there. I love Swiss chard. And then I went ahead and did some tomato seedling starts right in here. Some Everglades and Dr. Witchies. Maybe a little late for those, but I'm gonna give it a try. And then I have some space here. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it. I may plant another tomato, but I'm not sure. I did some cucumbers all along in here and on this side to get them going up on this trellis. So we'll see how those do also. My eggplant's doing okay over here, and then I've just propagated more basil, which I've done in quite a few places because I'm gonna make a ton of pesto and freeze it this year. These are some more peppers. I started from seed, no fruit on them yet, although here's one. Looks like it's gonna try to fruit. So I'll refertilize these and get started. Hopefully they'll get started a little bit heavier. Here's a bunch of jalapenos. Jalapenos are doing good. And then this is a Hungarian wax pepper. It's doing okay. I need to trim it back. It's a little too leggy. But Marigold's pretty happy. And I did go ahead and started some corn seedlings in here. It's a small pot, but I only put 4 in there, and we'll see how those do. Other than that, I do have one. This is a Ray Ruby grapefruit. So I'll be excited to harvest that later in the season. It's going to be the first one off this tree. So I'm pretty excited about that. The other thing is I've got, these are carrots. They're from Baker Creek. They're the dark purple ones. And they're starting to bolt, which I'm pretty happy about, honestly, because the pollinators love these. So I'm letting those definitely go as far as they want to. So that is kind of what is going on in here. I have not been coming out here very often. It has just been extremely hot. And like I said, we have been unbelievably busy. And the garden just kind of got put on the back burner here. The garden is doing well on zone 8, my plot up there. So I kind of have let this one just kind of rest and do its thing. Like I said, I've been doing beans and harvesting those, but other than that, I haven't been keeping up with as much as I should. So today I was like, if I don't get out here, I'm not gonna have a fall garden. So that's what I did. And you know, I just needed a break from the garden here. It was just getting way too hot. It's really hot now, but hopefully this will all pay off. I'm gonna try to finish up this Greenstalk. Hopefully I have enough soil to get that one back together. I'm probably gonna do some potatoes, trim up these peppers, and then go ahead and direct seed some more stuff. Maybe like some heat tolerant greens. I might do like an amaranth or a Swiss chard, and you know, whatever. I'll kind of go through my things and see what I can do. I could even do some basil, because that'll start kicking off once it starts getting a little cooler. And then, you know, like I said, I want to harvest a ton of it and make pesto. I also make a lot of pesto from my carrot tops. So if I harvest those, I'll keep the carrot tops and make pesto with that. I've been using a lot of peppers, a lot of beans out of this garden, and a lot of herbs. The herbs are still doing really well. I may even try to do some pesto with thyme. It might be a little too strong, but I don't know. Give it a little try, see what happens. So anyways, I hope everybody is doing fantastic. And thank you guys so much for coming along with my journey here in this garden. and I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that I start getting a lot more production here, even though it is super hot and then September gets super rainy. So we'll see. But anyways, guys, let me know what you're gardening right now, what you're growing, and especially even like where you're gardening. I would love to hear where you guys are all at. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.